delighted to get a wee word with with Professor Kevin Curran in terms of technology and stuff that's happening in the digital world that I really don't often understand, but Kevin helps us in that regard. Kevin, always a pleasure. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mark.
Right, listen, leaving your... I've often thought about this, Kevin. So I have speakers in the house, right? I have a speaker. And I leave the wee red dot. I turn the TV off, but the wee red dot stays on the speaker. Now, is that a big thing? Does that matter?
Well, it's on standby then, and people worry that it's using electricity, which it is, but it's really the price. So, which the Consumer magazine came along and calculated the cost of having your technology on standby for a year.
For a year?
For a year. So the annual standby costs for TV are 51p, Blu-ray player 75p, a DAB radio £1.48, TV streamer £2.21, right up to wireless speaker for $5.99 per year.
So that's cost me £6.
Yeah, per year on standby, and an average 20 hours a day, which is 7,300 hours per year. Of course, it'll use more when you're using it.
Yeah.
But that's just a standby cost. So you got to work out, is it worth turning your TV off at the plug for, say, 51p per year?
Well, how much would a smart plug cost to do that for us?
That's right. So the smart plug, again, costs 97p per year. But again, you can get them for about $8.99.
Right.
So again, because again, a lot of plugs are in hard to access places. People hide them behind, rightly so, out of view. So again, to reach down, whatever else, it's a hassle. But a smart plug can be worked by an app. So therefore, if you want, you can plug your device into the smart plug, and then the smart plug is taking the power. Then when you want to turn your device on, you just use your app. But of course, then you have to have your phone beside you, and there's extra, in there. So really, it's up to everyone to work out whether or not that they want, and whether the costs are offset by buying a smart plug as well.
Well, Kevin, do you think anybody goes around the house? I imagine your house has got more gadgets than nearly any other house in the county. Do you go around them all at night and switch them off?
No, I never do, no.
No. Yeah, so I just don't think people do. But £6 a year for one speaker, for goodness sake. So standby and all the rest. Well, that's very helpful. A set-top box or PVR is £2.56 a year, and a sound bar, I have one of those, £4.43. So my wireless speaker and my sound bar, Kevin's cost me a tenner. I don't think I'm best pleased about that. A tenner is a tenner, and I think I shall be thinking about that. Right, Kevin, what about the cost of charging your laptop and phone and stuff? Give us a wee bit more on that.
Yeah, I mean, your phone, if you leave it in, it'll cost, if you leave it in plugged in overnight, it only costs £1.43 per year. Again, and that's based on charging every night again. So, and again, best practice is to charge it from 30% battery up to 80%, which a lot of smart chargers do that again. And leaving your laptop plugged in 24/7 costs £6.22 per year.
Right.
That's all it costs really to charge your laptop for a year.
For a whole year, right? Okay. You see, I didn't know any of this. So, is there anything you should never switch off?
They say the wireless router, because and there are people who will worry about radiation. There's other people who worry about anything being plugged in. They just have them fears, whatever. But turning off your wireless router, really, you're just saving pennies per year, really. But also, again, it could look like an unstable connection to your internet router again, and your broadband provider could throttle your connection now. Again, I've read elsewhere where some people say, that they do it every night, but they don't seem to be throttled by their broadband provider. But to be honest, maybe they don't know. They've never done speed tests. But the other thing I would caution there is, again, a lot of the wireless router updates, again, where routers update themselves again to make themselves faster, and also security updates, they come during the night. So if you turn it off every night, your router could be, generations out of date.
Didn't know that. See, I'm tempted to switch it off. I get paranoid sometimes, Kev. You know what I mean? You're on a phone and you think somebody somewhere's listening, and that's where I think I would be tempted to switch the internet off at night. But you're saying that's not the best idea?
No, not really. Because again, you might miss out on firmware updates on your router.
Yeah. Kevin, what are you keeping an eye on? What's coming down the road tech-wise? What's the big talking points in your world?
Again, it's usually artificial intelligence, really. Taking over the world.
Why should ordinary Joes like me worry about AI? It's not that anybody's going to nick me or no. What is the practical reality of it, Kevin?
Well, it just turns a lot of tasks that we thought were really difficult to do, making them a lot easier again. Just like again creating images, creating videos. Again, within the security world, is causing a lot of havoc as well. And of course, all then the fake reviews, and of course, around the world, educators have to change all their assessments really, where essays are nearly impossible now to give out because it's almost impossible to detect plagiarism by a student again. So a lot of assessment has to be changed because of artificial intelligence.
Gosh. And I was looking at a thing earlier on today about, the UK space satellite maps are, heating up the Earth's surface. And there's a big satellite showing the world's hot and cold spots in extremely fine detail. That stuff's kind of scary, Kevin. But I suppose you can, there's as much good and information that can be gleaned from the stuff that we talk about with you and Emma than the sort of malignant stuff. I see there's almost with all this sort of conflict in the Middle East, there's a cyber war, I think, happening there and all the rest. But this is HotSat-1. It has the highest resolution ever of a thermal sensor in orbit, and you can basically see down to every building, Kevin, I'm looking at in a certain street. And you can see which one of the hot ones, which one of the cold ones, and where the thermal stuff has come from. It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, the eyes in the sky, the drones, the camera, the resolution on satellites now.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are now low orbit as well, so they're closer to the Earth, and the resolution on these cameras, you can literally identify someone from the top of their head, really. They're so good.
All right. Listen, Kevin, thank you for that today. The thoughts of Professor Kevin Curran of the Ulster University at Magee there.